Okay, so I'm very happy to have today with us Trumpia, which is an SMS and email marketing solution. I think more focused on the SMS, but they do both. I've been looking for a while for a solution like Trumpia because when you hear about email marketing and SMS marketing, the majority of it is in the e-commerce space. And I was looking for some, similar solution that's not just e-commerce, because even though e-commerce is a growing vertical of ours, we still have a lot of non-e-commerce business. And I was shocked about how little there is in that, non-e-commerce communication space. And there's others out there, and they're also very, I want to say, big and expensive. For example, Attentive is someone that I spoke with, and they just got $200 million of funding, which I thought they would be generous with, but actually their pricing is very expensive, and they weren't even generous with their time. So, really, I've had a hard time finding the perfect partner until I found Trumpia. And just working with Andrew so far has been really awesome. And I'll give you one example. So one client, one of my specific clients, is a medical spa. I've been wanting to do this with them for the longest time. And again, I just had the hardest time. I was like, listen, we could kind of use Klaviyo maybe, but not really. And so I had the hardest time finding the partner until I found Trumpia. And I was talking to Andrew, and I said, hey, here's their concerns. Do you have anyone else in the medical space? And literally, I don't know, within an hour, he sent me this awesome deck about, like, I don't know, Columbia Dental and like all these like super, super impressive like hospitals and stuff. One of our concerns was like HIPAA related. And he's like, listen, all these hospitals use us. And I was like, okay, well, I'm sold. And what's really great about them is Trumpia not only works with really big clients, they also mostly work with small businesses. So you kind of like have that like trust factor there in the enterprise. And then actually a majority of their business is also, a small is our target, our target client, small business. And just lastly, I think to say is that, what I was impressed with, that not only their like software piece of it, because at the end of the day, it's sending text messages. There's compliance, and then there's sequences like drip campaigns, but then it's just text messages and emails. So, but not only are they the software, but they're really also the service. So they really help you. And again, I was talking to Andrew, and I'm like, hey, listen, I don't even know where to start with this. Could you send me some other med spas that you've done a flow for, so I'm not recreating the wheel? You don't get that support with anyone else, and believe me, I've tried. So again, really, really excited, to have Trumpia as a partner. We're already close to signing one client with them. Matt Preppas, by the way, talked to Trumpia a few days ago, and I think he called me or texted me during his call with Trumpia, said, hey, these are such like really intelligent guys. We got to do something with them. So, any experience I've had so far with Trumpia has only been positive. And Andrew Blair, I will let you take it from there.
Perfect. Thanks so much for that introduction. I really appreciate that. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and go through a handful of slides, actually maybe more than a handful, but really talk about who we are and what we do, and go through some very interesting use cases, but also some very general ones as well. And then Andrew will take over there in the second half and talk more specific technology, clients that we have, kind of as Mike mentioned, and some of the revenue that's been generated there. And then we'll go into pricing at the end, and then some kind of basics in terms of qualifying questions and whatnot. Okay. So first and foremost, who we are, right? So we are a company. We're located out in Southern California. If you're familiar with the area, we're not too far from Knott's Berry Farm. So that's where our corporate office is located. The great thing about our team is we're spread out a bit. So if you have clients or yourselves that need different hours, we do have folks on the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast, and then the West Coasters as well. So we're covering all those time slots for you to make sure that we have you guys covered whenever your clients need to talk. Okay. In terms of SMS, as you're talking to your clients, really the big one here, this is the most important thing, is that 98% read rate. That's higher than any other medium that's out there. Social media is great, but it's a little bit more passive. Emails, that's what most people are used to as far as companies go and sending out marketing or advertisement. What's the read rate on that? 10, 15% maybe. Even the Uber Eats that Andrew is trying to send going into spam. Spam filters block a lot of that email traffic. So texting, reach your clients. That's how you do it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward and easy when you're talking to folks. In terms of sample use cases, now we put together this slide, really kind of a big 7 sort of verticals or industries, if you will. I find that to be less important than the actual use cases themselves. The great thing about our platform is we're not specific built for any industry or any vertical. We actually can handle any communication because we're really more about engagement as opposed to addressing a specific niche for a specific vertical, right? We want to make sure that we cover everybody with whatever their communication needs are. So just to kind of flip through some of these, if you have any banking clients, marketing is always great for banking clients as well. Getting in new leads, maybe doing some cross-selling, leveraging their database to push out, people that maybe have specific types of loans or accounts with them, and seeing if they can sign up for, checking versus savings, right? So great from a marketing aspect. But we do a lot of transactional messages with credit unions and banks, things like fraud alerts, loan updates, whatever it may be. We do have an open API, so we do leverage that for a lot of our banking clients. Two-factor authentication. So I know if you're talking to your clients and you want to talk about marketing and sales when it comes to any banking clients you may have, it's also worth mentioning the other use cases we can do there, and we'll help you with that. If you have any education clients, higher ed, K through 12, charter, doesn't matter. Critical alerts are big there, but additional recruiting, getting scholarship information out, sporting events and on-campus activities, how are they marketing those to both the population of the school as well as maybe the surrounding communities, right? So marketing is a big deal with higher ed specifically, but being able to push out notifications when there's certain things going on campus. Obviously right now, depending on where that school is located, a bit challenging, but also what makes targeting our messages out even more important. Hospitality, restaurant, retail, I really kind of loop all of these in together because they're very similar in terms of what they're trying to do, right? How do we get more people into our business? How do we attract them and direct them to our website? How are we getting reviews and feedback to increase our online presence? Whatever it is, they can do that with our messaging platform, and they can do it and automate it all, which is really kind of the big deal. It's not so much being hands-on and constantly having to push out information, but as Andrew will go through later, we'll talk about that automation piece that is really what attracts clients to Trumpia. So whether it's the full service, lead generation, people signing up for lists, businesses being able to capture that information, what are they interested in? What are they looking for? What locations, right? So using all of that data that can be collected with our platform and then pushing out very targeted promotions, going through that process. And at the end, let's give them a survey and see how they rate us, see how we're doing, right? But again, across all 3 of those verticals, really kind of the same. Let's increase ROI and let's make sure everybody's satisfied. Number of different ways to do that with our platform. As we do a deeper dive, Andrew will go through some of that with y'all as well. And then government. I'm not sure if the team works with any government clients at all, but we do have a large number of government offices that use our platform at all different levels, federal, state, all the way on down to just townships and whatnot. So really important there. And the cool thing about this, so COVID has taken over all of our lives at this point, but we just signed up probably, about 2 months ago, the state of New Jersey. And the cool thing about that is they're doing contract tracing with our software, sending out messages to those that may have been impacted or affected by individuals that have tested positive, right? So that's a huge state contract for us within New Jersey that is pretty remarkable because it's one of those systems that, we are a web-based system and we have an open API, but that work was all custom development that our team did for the state. So we can work really with any organization to come up with a solution, even if it's not just an out-of-the-box solution. And then HR. Every business that you talk to is going to have an HR, whether it's an individual or a team, right? So that HR communication, challenges with recruiting. How are we attracting more candidates? How are we getting information to them to get them to sign up for positions, jobs, apply? How are we onboarding them, right? Handle all of that via SMS, even email from our platform as well. But it's really about automating that process for them, qualifying candidates via text, delivering very specific job information, And then, oh, once they're hired, let's put them in a drip campaign to stay in touch with them, make sure they're getting through the onboard process. Right. Going beyond that, really more important is the kind of departmental use cases. Kind of touched on some of these already. If you're talking to companies, again, be that complete provider. Let's just not talk about the marketing and the sales aspect, how to drive that traffic, how to increase ROI, but let's help them be more efficient as well, right? So from an HR perspective, how are they pushing out internal communications, updates, COVID checks, HR benefits reminders, right? Send that out via text. We have a number of companies, I'd say probably 40 to 45% at this point, that use us for those internal communications as well. Everything from recruiting, HR notifications, benefits, especially in today's society when we're all spread out. Nobody's really in a central location for a lot of businesses anymore. Not everybody checks email either, right? Even employees. So making sure that they can stay in touch very quickly and efficiently with their team. Customer service. Again, this is where our API actually comes into play with a lot of our clients that use us for customer service. So a lot of our sales businesses, e-commerce businesses, obviously they have a call center of some sort. A lot of them do. So how are they managing that? How are they making it easier? How are they managing the call flow, right? So being able to automate messages that go out from our platform of order updates, delays in shipping, bill notifications, right? Automating all of that from our platform using our API to send out triggers straight from their system. So it's all automated. But then beyond that as well, it's really, one of those things, well, how are we going to alleviate our call times, right? So what we do is we can actually set up these workflows, if you will, that Andrew's going to show here in a bit, to answer a lot of routine customer service questions. People can text in and start going through a decision tree that is built that answers, where's my shipping, where's my package, how do I do returns, whatever it may be, we can automate that process, free up customer service time. Sales and marketing, it's really about driving individuals into a brick and mortar, to a website, whatever it may be. Let's increase that ROI. So everything from doing, text signups, right, on a POS or on signage, billboards, radio spots, we see them, right? Text sushi to 12345 and sign up for our VIP rewards and also get a coupon for 20% off, right? So leveraging the tools that we have in our system to build that client database, leverage data from those individual clients to send out very targeted messages. Happy birthday, come on in. We're open, we're COVID safe, come in for curbside pickup, right? So driving that traffic in, staying in front of those specific clients. And then our solution, right? We have the most complete feature set of any provider really on the market. A lot of companies have just an API, right? Some companies will have a very basic web UI. We have both an API and a full stacked web UI as well. A lot of features that clients have access to. We're happy to go through all of this with clients. And on the post-closing, we handle training as well, right? So we make sure clients are set, ready to go, understand how to use the platform, understand how to achieve their goals. In terms of achieving their goals, really another thing that sets us apart is a lot of providers just do blanket bombing, right? Let's just push out a message, whether it be email or text, to an entire database, right? Not effective in that now you might, kind of alienate some of those clients that aren't interested in the product that you're selling or pushing, right? So how do we do it? We target those messages. We enable clients to capture a lot of data from those individuals and then use that data to send a very targeted message back to them. So if we want to push out a promotion to a client that is interested in specific types or brands of clothing and they purchased within a certain amount of time and their annual spend is X, as long as we have that data or we've captured that data, we can target those very specific messages out, right? We want to leverage that data that not everybody else can leverage with their own platforms. We can do it with Trumpia. One of the easy ways that we do it, or one of the ways that clients can do it, is through our automation, right? Set a static condition. When that is met, we go down to the next channel, right? And our system will stay engaged with individuals, right? Think of it as a behavior-based system. If individual responds this way or answers this question or doesn't respond at all, what do we want to do next? Our system can handle all that. That's our automation, really kind of a spectacular tool. And that's what most of our clients get excited about, is really that automation piece. In terms of what we can do, we are omnichannel. As Mike mentioned at the beginning, we do have an email platform. If you're familiar with, MailChimp or Constant Contact, as most of your clients probably are or are actively using them, we have an email platform built into our system that rivals those, right? It may be better in some ways as well. SMS, MMS, that's the most powerful channel. I mean, we do that. That's what we cut our teeth on, so to speak. That's really where we pride ourselves on, is our functionality there, our automation when it comes to our SMS. And then for those specific clients that may need to push out notifications, emergency alerts, we do have a voice broadcast feature, right? So complete channel to be able to reach out to clients, customers, employees, whomever it may be. Okay. So here's, our life cycle engagement. So we talk about this a lot at Trumpia. This is what, when we're talking to our partners and our reps and even our clients, what are they trying to accomplish? If they're just trying to send a message, awesome, we can do that. But then let's talk about everything else that we can do for your company, right? It's that complete life cycle from the time that we've captured contacts or generated leads or opportunities, right? We're handling all of this via our system, handling it via SMS and automating the entire process, qualifying leads, capturing data. On the sales side, we can nurture those clients, drip campaigns. Everybody's familiar with those. We can do those, right? Eventually, we'll convert that lead with our platform. Once we do that, well, now let's follow up with them. Let's do some two-way texting or that one-to-one texting and answer questions for the business, right? So making it easy on them. So now we're handling the customer service aspects as well. And then let's get some surveys. Let's get some feedback. And then, hey, you love our company? Great. Click this link and leave us a review on Yelp or Facebook or wherever. Let's increase that online presence with our system. Those internal communication cases, right? Or just, general outreach. Again, same idea. Let's keep people engaged. Let's go ahead and let them know what's going on with our business or going on in our township, right? Pushing out those notifications via SMS. And then again, doing surveys as well. And this is that entire process, right? So this is lifecycle engagement. This is what we really pride ourselves on. And then there are a lot of service providers out there. They have, smatterings of different pieces, but really we do that complete lifecycle for the clients themselves. So I'm going to pause there. Andrew's going to take over the screen share, but I want to pause there, get any thoughts or feedback thus far, or any ideas on maybe specific things that you guys have seen or clients that you've worked on.
If I may, let me ask this question. If we have a client with, just some idea that, hey, when I text this, I want such and such to happen or whatever, could we kind of email you this idea, and you guys
Absolutely.
from there say, hey, here's how it will look, and we can build it out, or here's how we'll get the data, or can we get the data? How much support will you give us, from that side?
Absolutely. No, that's a great question. And the answer is we would love to handle all those touch points with you, right? So if you have a client that has an idea and you want to say, hey, look, can this work? Send us an email, give us a call, and we'll walk through that with you. Set up a client call. We'll just get on the phone with you and go through it with the client, even do a demo of the platform and what it'll look like for them. Right. So we are there to assist no matter what stage of the process you need, even if it's before all of that. And you're like, hey, I have this client that I'm speaking to. I don't really know how to approach it, or if, messaging is a good spot for them. And we can bounce use cases off you, provide you some information that when you go to that client, get them to the next step, get them to that demo call or whatever that call would be after that. So we're happy to assist at any point that you need us, way in the beginning or even post-close.
Awesome. Well, great question, Mike. And Blair, thanks for that beginning part of the presentation. I'll be taking over from here. Now, like Blair said, this lifecycle engagement is very, very important for us, right? The fact that we're able to hit every single part of the customer's life cycle or the audience's life cycle, right? It's not just for paying customers, it's also for internal employees, internal stakeholders as well. And in any case, right, every stage can be hit with our system. So now I'm gonna go through some real life examples and kind of go through a screen demo of the engagement that subscribers can receive. So moving on, this is just a quick example, right? Let's say we had an engagement set up and we had people text deals into one of the account numbers, right? And this is, just a keyword that can be marketed anywhere. Maybe it's on a billboard, maybe it's on a TV commercial, maybe it's on a bus wrap or something like that. And the idea is to get those people to opt in and to engage the campaign. Now, as soon as someone opts in, then they will get this message. Thanks for signing up. What's your full name? Now we're gonna ask for data. We're gonna capture more information. And they're gonna simply respond. And then we'll say, thank you. What's your email, as you see here? And we'll collect more of that information. And we'll give them a thank you message and ask them to stay tuned for promotions and awesome deals. Now, this is just an example of the first two steps of that life cycle that Blair was talking about, right? About that lead generation and collecting contacts and lead qualification. The fact that this subscriber provided the full name and email is an indication that they are much more interested in the product or service that I have to offer, right? So there is a lot to say here about that qualification aspect of our system. And we can collect any type of data that you would want, right? We can collect birthdays, we can collect dates, times, whatever it is, all that collection is possible. And just some quick automation highlights on the screen here. We saw the mobile keyword, the auto response, the data capture technology, as well as our ability to set up these drip campaigns, okay? Or in the lead scoring. Now, as far as some real life examples are concerned, Costco is actually one of our clients. And what they have is they are doing this exact lead generation and nurturing with all of the TVs that are in the store, right? So whenever you go to Costco, you see all the big TVs on the side, and they have a keyword, text recipe to this number, and you're able to basically opt in. And when you opt in, you will get a recipe that, of course, calls for all of the Kirkland brand products, right? The Kirkland bread, sour cream, whatever it is, right? And they're trying to increase those sales of their private label products. And this is actually almost a $50,000 total lifetime value relationship with Costco, at least thus far, right? And it's been a very successful campaign. Similar use case is HughesNet for the lead generation portion. This is actually a photo of a TV, and they had a commercial, and they said the call to action is text fast to 35,000. This is another way to actually get people to opt in and inquire about the services that HughesNet provides, their voice and internet services in their neighborhoods. So I think to date, HughesNet probably has over 250,000 people opt in to inquire about those services, and that's actually up to now over a $75,000 total lifetime value relationship. And what's important to note is that we have extensive experience in working with agencies just like SmartSites, right? So PRN and RM Factory, they are additional agencies that we've worked with in the past, and they are the ones that actually helped us bring these deals. So we're very familiar with this, the agency part of the business and how to work with organizations like SmartSites. Moving forward, now we can talk about a little more about the additional next life cycles. We can have a name here, and we can send them a message out asking them, hey, go ahead and check out the exclusive deals, the offers, and the VIP club, right? And so this is just further nurturing, and there's a link in there. This link is our proprietary URL shortener. You can put any link and we'll shorten it, save you real estate on the character count in the text message, and we can send these messages accordingly in that targeted manner that Blair was talking about, right? If the customer purchased within the last 6 months and they bought this type of product, and they are an active member, then send out these messages to target them. And that's really where the nurturing and conversion and engagement comes in right here. And as far as the automation highlight, further lead scoring, this is drip campaigns, right? Text bots and link tracking is all built into this little screen demo right here. Next, go on at the last bit of the customer lifecycle is the feedback and the surveying, right? And we can send a message saying, hey, how was your recent experience with our team? Reply with a number, great, satisfactory, or bad. And depending on how they respond, our system is going to dynamically change how we respond back. Okay, if they answer they had a bad experience, we can say we're sorry. How could we have done better? We can say the representative was rude, and then we can say thank you for the feedback. Here's an exclusive coupon for next time, right? Just to kind of resolve that bad experience. On the flip side, let's say they had a really great experience. They say that it was awesome. When we ask for further feedback, they say it was great. Now it will say, great, thanks for that feedback. Please leave us a review if we've earned it. And this is alluding to what Blair was talking about, right? The Yelp review page, the Google page, the Foursquare page, wherever the reviews are important for the organization or business, we can drive people to leave those reviews if the organization, in fact, earned it. And of course, this is just highlighting the last bit of it, right? The automated follow-up, the support, and the feedback that we can collect via text messaging, right? And really, the point is that, like Blair was saying in the beginning, the SMS, the text message is always going to be the best channel for communication. I'm sure everyone on the call, you can remember the last time you didn't open an email, right? Even my email to you for the Uber Eats, it didn't get delivered, right? But I'm sure every single one of us on the call, you don't really remember the last time you did not read a text message, right? You might not have responded, right? But you for sure did at least read the message. And that's the power of the platform. That's the power of the targeting. Just some quick automation highlights here. Again, this is further data capturing because we're asking for the feedback, some more text bot engagement. Depending on how they're responding, we're engaging them accordingly, link tracking and smart targeting as well, collecting and targeting based on the subscribers' engagements. Customer example here is Bloomin' Brands. They had us for a period of time to run some survey campaigns. They actually had a link to a survey, so a little different than the actual screen demo I supplied in the previous slides, but similar, at the end of the day, similar idea, right? Gets people to engage the organization, provide feedback, and give the feedback so that the organization can improve, right? The feedback is always important for all organizations to get better. Now, as far as internal communications is concerned, like Blair was alluding to, about 40 to 45% of our customers are actually using us for internal communications, right? So don't just think of us as a marketing company, right? We are a full communication platform designed to engage any audience that an organization or business would need to engage, right? So for example, Pepsi, they use us for their overtime shift fulfillment services, right? Before us, they would call all the individuals for the manufacturing to see if they could fill a shift. But now they do it all through texting, much more easier, much more efficient in reaching the workers. The next example is Omni Hotels. I believe in 2014, there was a terrible shooting down in Dallas, right? There was like a sniper that was gunning down cops. Omni Hotels Dallas is actually our client. And they, during that emergency, they actually sent out a message to all of their 700 employees and associates on site to let them know, hey, this is the situation. This is what's going on. Keep safe. And they were updating their employees throughout that whole predicament. So that's another example. Volvo, similar use case, right? For their offices and, you know, inclement weather alerts, things like that. Similar use case there on the emergency alerts. And Chick-fil-A, they actually use us for their entire franchisee communications, right? So Chick-fil-A probably has, 700, 800 locations in the States, maybe more at this point, right? I see them popping up everywhere nowadays. But they use us to engage all of their franchisees with important corporate announcements, right? Reminders, updates, promotions, things to know as a franchisee owner, what's important to operate a successful Chick-fil-A or a franchise, right? So again, this is all internal communication examples, and this is definitely a bread and butter use case for us as well. And just to kind of go over the service aspect that Mike alluded to in the beginning of the call, we do have 365-day priority support here. All right, so if you call us on Christmas Day, New Year's, you name it, we'll get back to you with even a 9-minute initial response time to all email inquiries. Onboarding and training, dedicated account management, campaign consultation, and compliance resources are also all available on our team as well. And no platform, no technology is complete without a team behind it. And we definitely provide that team to support you and, at the end of the day, your clients and your customers to achieve their business objectives, right? And at the end of the day, for us here at Trumpia, we don't really care that messages are being sent or emails are being sent, right? We, just as you guys at SmartSites, we care that your clients, that their business objectives and goals are being met, right? And that's where really our consultation and our account managers come into play. Okay. There's a quick little snapshot of how to spot an opportunity. These are some buzzwords and keywords you can listen for. If they need a better way to communicate with customers and employees, right? Huge topic and huge buzzword to indicate when you should bring Trumpia into the conversation. Similarly, needing to automate repetitive chores to save manpower costs, similar to the Pepsi example, right? They were just calling people on an individual basis, and they're able to automate and reach out to people in a better, more effective manner to save those costs. Because saving time is saving manpower costs. Automating engagement with customers so that you can help with revenue and customer satisfaction, kind of alluding to the lifecycle stages of the nurturing and the feedback, right? Email campaigns do not deliver results. This is a huge one too. A lot of times email is just noise at this point, right? Depending on the content, depending on the audience, depending on the organization. And if you need to cut through that noise, SMS is a huge successful and effective channel. And if they're already doing texting, but they need more robust functionality and automation and features, then hey, that's another telltale sign and buzzword for us as well. Now here, just to kind of outline the standard process that I was alluding to in the beginning. This is the typical process of how it'll work, right? Where you guys can send us an email or even give us a call as well to request the brainstorming session and for us to provide you any appropriate collateral based on the industry or the use case, right? And the idea, before the call with customers, obviously, I'm sure you guys do this, right? It's checking their website, understanding their business, understanding of their needs and goals. And then when we have the discovery meeting with our team, likely it will be with Blair, that's when he'll go into the deep dive into the actual problems. What are they doing now? Getting basically the data for our demo call and the proof of concept, which is where we showcase Trumpia, right? And show the actual platform, give the overview, and really the goal of this POC and demo is to show them the exact solution that they would utilize if they were to come on board, right? So that's the power of that proof of concept. And of course, after that point, we determine next steps and how they would, their timelines and whatever else to close the deal.
I'm going to jump in there really quickly, Andrew. So
yeah,
on that initial email, it's really helpful. If you don't have any information on the client at all, that's perfectly fine. But if you could include in that initial email, the name of the business or at least the website, because then I can take a look at it and we can kind of get some ideas before getting on the call together and starting to run through that. So that company email or company website, really helpful for us to start doing that dig and figure out good use cases for them.
Definitely. Moving on here. Now, this is just an overview of our pricing, right? Like Mike was saying in the beginning, we are very broad and horizontal, right? We not only serve those enterprises that I alluded to earlier, like the Costco's and HughesNets of the world, we also serve many of the small businesses as well. So depending on who your client is, we're going to have a package available that is right for them. Even something as low as the $45 a month, all the way up to the premium plans, which is almost the couple thousands a month, right? And the premium plans are what come with obviously a little more of the care and the white glove, but rest assured, every single one of our customers have access to our awesome support team 365 days, and the 9-minute responses. And just kind of an overview, right? This is our contact info. I can write this down. If you have an opportunity, you can send us an email at partner@Mitrum. You can give us a ring at that number right here, and we will help you with the collateral, with the client brainstorming, the discovery calls, demos, pricing, onboarding, training, and support. And really for us here at Trumpia, we want to be the best partner that we can be for SmartSites, right? Obviously, this is a newer partnership, but like Mike said, right, we already are having a great conversations with one of the clients that Mike has a relationship with. And I'm sure every single one of you have many of those relationships that we can have great conversations, right? And at the end of the day, like I said, we want to help them reach their business objectives and help them reach their goals. And with that, that kind of wraps up the presentation. We'd love to spend the last 15 minutes or so to just field any questions. It could be about use cases. It can be about the technology, our platform. We'd love to spend some time answering those questions for you guys. Looks like Irina has a question.
I do. Thank you. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, my question is, when pitching your service to potential clients, what are some resistance points that they bring on the table? Like, what exactly do they say that could get them not to sign with you guys? What would be the main one, and how do you guys defeat it?
All right, so I'll jump in on that one. In terms of pitching the Trumpia platform, it's really more about pitching what they're missing in their communication, and it really is one of those things. How are they getting clients? What are they doing with their clients? What sort of data they have on their clients? If we know that, then pitching the solution becomes really quite easy, because we're going to talk to them about, well, here's the important thing when you have client data is if you're not leveraging it currently, we can leverage it with our platform. We can help you target specific information per clientele to make sure that they are getting it in a way that they want to receive it. We can also use our system to engage with those individuals automatically. So you as the business, Mr. and Mrs. Business person, CEO, marketing agent, whomever, you don't have to lift the finger to do it. Once you set it up, our system's going to do it automatically, right? So there's no hours involved from an individual. Okay.
Very cool.
So that's
okay, yeah.
that's one of the big starts to it. Go ahead, Irina. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, yeah, that sounds like a really good way to beat any possible complaints, I guess, or objections.
Yeah, and in terms of objections themselves, and this is actually a good time to talk about that, is because people do object. If there is an objection to having the discussion about the platform or moving forward with the messaging, it depends on the objection. We do get those. A lot of times it's price driven, especially in today's economy, right? So we do have a package for everybody, and we are scalable, right? It's not just, hey, sign up with plan X and you're stuck there forever. Let's get your feet wet. Let's dip a toe in the water, and we can grow with you. We have a team to help you grow with the platform. That's usually the biggest objection. And once we go through that from a pricing perspective, it really kind of melts down a lot of that objection that we get when it comes to pricing itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll also add, as far as an objection is concerned, right? A lot of people say that, hey, texting is easy. I already have something, but really that's where the POC comes in, right? And that's where our team will go in and say, okay, well, you're already doing this basic texting, but let me show you what automation can do, right? And that's usually the biggest selling point for us is showing them everything else that they're missing because they're not doing that automated engagement with a platform like ours. So just another comment on that as well.
Thank you so much.
Great. Any other questions, guys?
All right, guys. Blair, Andrew, again, a big thank you from everyone here at SmartSites for this very educational session. I hope that people do take you up on these offers. SmartSites team, shortly I will write a sample client intro email and send it to you guys to use for your clients. please do take advantage of Trumpia. Again, especially just I will stress this again. I love the fact that they're not just a software; they also have that service component. And because we don't have any in-house CRO messaging experts or anything like that, this will be so key to us. So take advantage of it. Keep your team members informed. Let's get a few use cases under our belt, and then inform the rest of, hey, I used Trumpia for this lead nurturing or this appointment scheduling, or whatever the case may be. Let's get a few under our belt and tell the rest of the team about it. And again, we do have this 6-month more generous offer from them. If we get clients in soon, we'll get to keep that. So let's try our best to keep that. And again, a big thank you to Andrew and Blair.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. And I would like to throw out there just really quickly, as we found some success with this with some other partners that we have. If any of you guys want to reach out to us and schedule some one-on-one time to either go through the platform high level or talk specifics, feel free to send us an email. We'll schedule some time, a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever you want, and we'll kind of go through all the specifics of it as well.
Awesome. And thank you for lunch.
No problem. No problem. All right, guys. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. And have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks.